a good time. So, story time. I'm here to spend time with you and see like how your day is. If you're faring on well, wish you a nice day or a nice morning wherever you are, depending. So, right now, I've said, let me just open my live a little bit for maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes. I see what's going on. And since nobody has joined, I thought maybe I have two stories maybe we can share today. Hey. So, wherever you live, which kind of transportation do you usually use? Here in my country, there are different types of transportation. Either you can have your own car, you can use motorbikes, Ubers, or maybe what else? Public transportations, which are matatus, I think, which I've mentioned already. So, hi, how are you? I won't be chatting, but I'll be reading your comments and responding. So, today in the morning, while I was just commuting to Vienna, there were this public transportation whereby there are two types of public transportation. So there's these matatus which usually have a lot of noise inside. They are called in my country nganya. So this kind of matatus, they're only they're buses, big buses, which have a lot of music, and Gen Zs really love using them. So as I had planned earlier to come with an Uber this side of Vienna, I decided to change my mind because I was not so late. So I decided, let me use a public transportation, which is a bus. So when I reached at the bus stop, I decided, like, since it's a quiet morning and it's on a Monday, I do not want to use the ones which really have noise. So I decided I can use the electrical ones, because the electrical ones have already come to Kenya. So in these electric buses, there are usually those yellow things that have metal bars up there, so you hold yourself like this. And I don't know where all these drivers in Kenya are usually taken from. So this particular driver, when you just put your leg inside the bus, he starts moving. So anywho, it wasn't a problem. I said anyway, probably they are in a rush because they want to pick more people along the way before those other buses pick people. Because those noisy buses, they usually take a lot of people because most people like them because they have music. So anywho, wasn't an issue there. I used the electrical one. So while I was just seated like quietly, I am seated quietly trying to meditate how the week is going to be. This particular lady came in. So it was a couple with a small child, maybe a child who looks like maybe they're 1 week old, 2 weeks old. Maybe they were going for a clinic, or maybe they were traveling, I'm not so sure, but they had bags. So as they stepped, first of all, I expect when it's a couple, the man and the woman, the man first enters, then maybe they take the luggage from the lady, then the lady enters with the child. But in this case, guess what the man did? The man decided to enter and sit down. So the lady with the small baby decided, like, maybe they'll stand there and watch. Probably the conductor of the car would help them to take the bags. Okay, the conductor of the car was really a good person. It was a lady. They took the luggages from the lady and helped them come board the bus. So when the lady had stepped inside the bus just started moving. Can you imagine? And the lady has a small child on their hand. And when a bus starts moving, when you're entering, you're here in front of the bus. When you enter the bus, you are moved like shh. That force of accelerating. That's how that lady. Hi Agriculture, how are you? How are you doing today? I'm here just giving people a story time. So when the lady entered, she already boarded the bus. The bus started moving. and she was pushed like shh. So the lady apparently is short, and those things, I don't know what they're called, they usually metal bars on top of the bus that you hold yourself. Thanks for the live story. Thanks for the live story. Okay, anytime. It's just story time of how my morning was, of how I saw boarding a bus, and she had luggage, and she was with the husband, and the husband could not help her carry the luggage. Then the lady entered the bus, and as the bus was starting to move, she was pushed, almost falling down, with a, I think, 2-day-old baby inside the bus. Okay, so as we continued like moving, we went like, I think 1 kilometer away from our previous destination. So this time we were almost like halfway our journey. Then it stopped and we were picking somebody else. So as we were picking that person, guess this time it was a lady who was in heels and their handbag, and I think maybe some lunchbox. So when they boarded the bus again, the bus driver could not wait for them to sit down. The bus started to move. Again, this lady was pushed from there in front. It is these buses that have a front door and a back door. So because they had boarded with using the front door, when the bus started to move, that lady was pushed from the front of the bus to almost the middle of the bus, falling down, until there were those passengers who were seated there in the middle. They had to help her. You can imagine how your morning could have been frustrated. Can you imagine that? Okay, so we continued with our journey to town. Then I picked another bus to my destination where I was going. So my second bus was just fine until when I arrived where I was going. So this time round, I said like I won't take the shorter route I usually take, because there was no traffic. So I reached my destination very early. So I had like 10 to 15 minutes that I would have used the longer route. So as I was coming, there's this, okay, I've ever used that route before. That was today was my third time or my fourth time using the same route. So as I was passing there, hello, hi Grizzly Warrior, how are you today? How is it going? So I'm here chilling with people, just telling them a story, funny stories of how my morning was until I arrived where I was going. Higher. Second story. So as I was using that long route for 10 or 15 minutes, there's this guy. The same route has people that usually clean the roads. So they use a broom to sweep the road, to sweep the leaves, or probably maybe to sweep the grass so that the road can be clean. So as I was passing the same route, there is usually this lady assigned, I think, for almost a month, the same route to sweep the road and make sure that the environment is clean, pick maybe the papers, pick anything that somebody has dropped and burn them or collect them to another destination. So the first time I passed that route, there was a young guy, maybe 25, 26 years. Okay, first of all, let me start by saying that I'm not judging anybody. Everybody is allowed to choose their sexuality, because it's someone's choice. But anyway, I don't think the Bible allows us to either to become gay or lesbians or something like that. But it's somebody's choice, like I said again. So this, I don't know whether to call the person a lady or a guy, but he has like the physical features like of a guy, but he has plaited braids, long braids. I think there are 3 or 4 braids which almost touch the ground, and they put on lipstick and do manicure. So the first time I met this guy, he was talking to the lady who was sweeping the road. So I said, maybe it's because of just good relations. You see, when maybe there's somebody who's sweeping outside your compound, you can talk to them, or the way you usually sometimes talk to a security guy or a cleaner in your office, just to have good relations. So I decided like to pass them and say like maybe this is just a rich kid talking to a worker. Okay, which was okay. It's okay to socialize with your employees, or uh, uh, what can I call them, the employees of the government. So it's almost like I think a week or two I've not passed the same direction. So today when I decided to pass through that direction, I found that the guy with braids and lipstick, who that person is a man. I think it was around 8:30 going to 9. He had carried soda with a carrier bag which you can see inside. It was sort of like a see-me-through. So inside that carrier bag, it's in the morning, and they have carried like snacks. It was, I think, soda and some biscuits and some crepes. So in my head, I imagined like maybe probably he is going to meet that lady who was cleaning the road, because the lady had already cleaned the upper side. She was going down the road, almost finishing her earlier morning tasks. So in my head, I was thinking like, this guy doesn't look like he's going to college. This same guy doesn't look like probably he's going to visit a friend this early morning. So I was wondering like, where could he be going? Just like me, the same you're looking at me. I told myself probably the same snacks he is carrying. She, let me say a he, but he is the main. She is carrying. Maybe he's taking their snacks to that lady. So I was wondering like, hey, me as a parent, how should we like talk to our generation which is coming to avoid such things like these ones? I said I'm not judging anybody, but it's good to always talk to our kids, what our kids are talking to who. So the moral of the story is like this particular man or young gentleman, I think he is not straight. But at the same time, I'm wondering like, why are they taking snacks to a female person? Are they just friends? Are they like more than friends? Just like you, I'm wondering like what type of a relationship they're having. So we should really like talk to our young ones. We should really like tell them like this type of them trying to transform them into something else that God did not create them is not right. So you might say that I'm trying to judge them, but I don't think I'm judging anybody. Because at the end of the day, imagine you look like a guy, you are masculine, and you've gone maybe to a public office to look for work. Will they give you work? Who will trust you with that kind of a status? Who? Okay, leave alone that. Let's say, for example, maybe there's somewhere where they give such people jobs. How is this person going to have a family? Like, if it's a man, will they ever have a family? Okay, I understand there are people who have decided that they'll never have families, so they're not interested in having children. Like, but these people live in a society. How do you expect them to mingle with our own? You tell me. As a parent, I feel like this generation is lost. The materials they check online, whatever they read, whatever they teach one another with their peers, it's really like taking them to a wrong direction. And as a parent and as somebody mature, I wish I could talk to this generation and help them realize that the direction they're taking is very wrong, and God will not agree with such a thing. And it's really really like so disappointing, and they should do something about it. This is where in most cases you find that somebody has been killed by a mob justice or something goes. There's another day when I was in Mombasa, I saw there was a young person who was a man but was behaving like a girl, and the mob justice, hey, he was given beatings by a mob justice. Before the police came to rescue him, he was, I think, beaten by stones, given back kicks, given stomach kicks. Maybe even they were injured. The internal organs were not okay. So we should really try and talk to our children to avoid these kind of things. So my 15 minutes are over. That was the story of the day. Until next time, bye.